Now, President Moon Jae-in is floating the idea of a possible trilateral summit with US President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Also on Wednesday, the South Korean leader's preparation committee for his summit with Kim Jong-un suggested talks with the North on March 29th to start laying the groundwork for what will be a truly historic meeting. Our chief Cheonghwa correspondent Moon Gon-young reports.
남북 정상회담에 이어서 열릴 북미 정상회담은 회담 자체가 세계사적인 일입니다. 장소에 따라서는 더욱 극적인 모습이 될 수도 있습니다. 그리고 진전 상황에 따라서는 남북미 3국 정상회담으로 이어질 수도 있을 것입니다.
South Korean President Moon Jae-in's first mention of the possibility of a trilateral summit following the first two one-on-ones, which the president stressed should focus on ending the nuclear threat on the Korean peninsula once and for all. The remarks came as he chaired the second meeting of the South Interagency Preparation Committee for the Inter-Korean Summit between President Moon and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un late next month. U.S. President Donald Trump has also said he would meet the North Kim by the end of May. The historic rendezvous between President Moon and North Korean leader Kim are set to take place on the southern side of the border between the two Koreas in the truce village of Panmunjom, and it could also serve as a venue for a possible three-way meeting between Seoul, Pyongyang, and Washington.
우리는 한반도의 핵과 평화 문제를 완전히 끝내야 합니다. 남북이 함께 살든 따로 살든 서로 간섭하지 않고 서로 피해주지 않고 함께 번영하며 평화롭게 살 수 있게 만들어야 합니다.
However, the South Korean leader added that cannot be made possible without the role of the U.S.
President Moon said the establishment of a lasting peace on the Korean peninsula can only be made possible with the guarantee from the United States, meaning normalization of North Korea-U.S. relations and economic cooperation involving Pyongyang and Washington.
Also discussed in Wednesday's meeting were the composition of an advisory panel made up of 40 to 45 experts, as well as the creation of a media-friendly support system.
The members of the preparation committee will now propose to North Korea holding high-level talks next Thursday on the northern side of the border in the truce village of Panmunjom to set the date as well as the agenda to be discussed at the Leaders' Summit in late April. The Blue House says South Korea will be represented by three officials headed by Unification Minister Cho Myung-gyun. Moon Gon-young, Arirang News, the Blue House.